a colossal sea serpent, scales glistening like armor, jaws wide enough to swallow ships whole, and a presence so fearsome it's said to make the oceans tremble. But what exactly is the Leviathan? Where did it come from? And how does it stack up against other legendary beasts like the Kraken or Jörmungandr? Grab a lifeboat because we're about to set sail into the depths of this monstrous tale. Let's start at the beginning. The Leviathan isn't just some random monster cooked up by a bored storyteller. It's a creature with deep roots, tangled up in ancient history and theology. The name Leviathan comes from the Hebrew word Leviathan, which roughly translates to twisted or coiled. That's a pretty fitting description for a giant writhing sea serpent, or, according to some texts, a whale-like creature, don't you think? Its first big appearance is in the Hebrew Bible, specifically in texts like the Book of Job, Psalms, and Isaiah. In Job 41 of the Hebrew Bible, for instance, we get this vivid description. Can you pull in Leviathan with a fish hook or tie down its tongue with a rope? Its snorting throws out flashes of light. Its eyes are like the rays of dawn. Flames stream from its mouth. Whoa, talk about a dramatic entrance. This isn't just a big fish, it's a cosmic terror. In ancient Near Eastern mythology, the sea was seen as a realm of disorder, a place where humanity had no control. So, the Leviathan became the ultimate embodiment of that chaos, a beast so mighty that only God could subdue it. In fact, in some texts, God is described as defeating the Leviathan to bring order to the world. Pretty epic, right? But the Leviathan didn't pop up out of nowhere. It's got cousins in older myths. Take Tiamat, for example, from Babylonian mythology. She's a primordial goddess of the sea, often depicted as a dragon or serpent who gets slain by the god Marduk to create the world. Sound familiar? The parallels are striking. Both Leviathan and Tiamat represent chaos, and both are taken down by a divine force. It's like the ancient world had a shared playbook for cosmic monster battles. So, the Leviathan starts as this biblical heavyweight, but its story doesn't end there. As sailors ventured out into the unknown, the Leviathan became the poster child for oceanic terror. Imagine you're a medieval mariner, miles from shore, and you spot something massive moving under the waves. Is it a whale? A giant squid? Nope, it's gotta be the Leviathan ready to drag you to the bottom. Stories like these kept the legend alive, blending biblical roots with the very real fears of the open sea. Okay, let's try comparing the Leviathan against other legendary beasts. How does it measure up? First up, the Kraken, Scandinavia's favorite sea monster. It's a giant squid or maybe an octopus, wrapping its tentacles around large ships, pulling them under with a single yank. The Kraken's all about brute force and surprise attacks, lurking in the North Atlantic like a nautical boogeyman. Now, the Leviathan? It's got a different vibe. It's not just about physical power, it's got this cosmic weight, this aura of primordial chaos. The Kraken might sink your ship, but the Leviathan could sink the whole world if it wanted to. Plus, the Leviathan's got that divine backstory, according to which only God's the only one who can take it down. And as for the Kraken, it's like we are trying to kill an ant with a nuclear bomb. Next, let's talk about Jörmungandr, the Midgard serpent from Norse mythology. This guy's a real contender. Jörmungandr is so big it wraps around the entire earth, biting its own tail, like an Ouroboros of destruction. It's destined to fight Thor at Ragnarok, the Norse apocalypse, and their battle's supposed to end the world. Pretty intense, isn't it? The Leviathan and Jörmungandr share some DNA. Both are massive serpents tied to the end of days. But while Jörmungandr is more of a neutral force, just doing its job in the Norse cosmic cycle, the Leviathan is often cast as a villain, a rebel against order. And then there's Tiamat again. She's the OG Chaos Dragon, older than the Leviathan by centuries. Like Leviathan, she's tied to the sea and creation myths, but she's also a goddess. Way more complex than just a mythical monster. Her defeat shapes the universe, while Leviathan's defeat is more about proving God's dominance. Tiamat's got a regal edge, Leviathan's the unruly wild card. So, who wins in a mythical showdown? Well, it's a tough call. The Kraken can't even participate in the competition. Jormungandr's got size and destiny, kind of like equal in terms of power, whereas Tiamat's got divine goddess status. I'd say Leviathan is just a step away from God's power, so it can't be called just a powerful mythical monster. So, why does the Leviathan still matter? I think it's because it taps into something primal. The sea's still a mystery to us. It's dark, vast, and unpredictable. The Leviathan embodies that fear of the unknown, that sense that something bigger than a blue whale is lurking just out of sight. It's a reminder that nature's not always our friend, and maybe that's okay. And that's the Leviathan for you. What do you think? Could you face the Leviathan? Or would you rather stay on dry land? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this deep video, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more mythical adventures. Until next time, stay curious and watch out for what's lurking beneath the waves. See you soon.